Shalom. This is an emergency broadcast alert, giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bahashim, Rekagadash, in whom we are in great debt. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Continue doing so, standing firm in the eyes of terror, who I learned this truth from. To the elders, the bishops, Akim Coab, salutations and blessings to the house of David. We are the hopeful elect. This is your brother Quasi with another quick one. And we all know the story, but we have to keep proclaiming the truth of Yahweh Bash and Yahushua, because he's the one that's gonna take down Amalek. He's the only one that can make him pay for all his atrocities. And this is Exodus 14, so like Exodus 17 verse 14. And the Lord said, so like unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under earth, so like from under heaven. In verse 16, and Moses built an altar, and called it the name of it Yahweh Nashi, or should I say Nishi, Yahweh Nishi, for he said, so like verse 16, for he said, because the Lord hath sworn generation. Oh man, my eyes is bad too now. For he said, because the Lord hath sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Why? Well, he created Amalek to be evil, as evil can be. And this is documents that I didn't even know existed. Dr. Cornelius Rhodes. Dr. Cornelius Rhodes was an American doctor and pathologist. More like a pathologist, more like a pathetic, that became infamous for performing several objectionable experiments with human beings. In 1931, sponsored by the Rockefeller Institute, Rhodes deliberately infected several Puerto Rican citizens with cancer cells. And how does a person get cancer if it's not given to that person? And that's why I strongly believed for a very long time that somehow somebody was giving cancer. I mean, somewhere along the line, for some way, I don't know, somebody was actually causing cancer. Because people were just popping out of nowhere with cancer, out of nowhere. And come to think about it, there was a procedure that they wanted me to do for cancer, and I said no, I'm not doing that. I denied it, and the people who actually went and did it came out with cancer. Check that one out. Anyways, as supposedly 13 of the patients died. Yeah, they only giving you like very little because there's so much. Dr. Rose once said in a written document, more like a letter that he sent to his Rockefeller friend, the Puerto Rican sick are the dearest laziest, most degenerate, and diverse race of man ever to inhabit this sphere. And now, notice these words that he's using. They only put it. They only go side to side when they talk about the Israelites, the 12 tribes. All right, these these exact words. The only thing that changes so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's the only thing that changes. I have done my best to further the process of extermination by killing off eight and transplanting cancer into several more. All physicians take delight in the abuse and torture of the unfortunate subjects. And an investigation done in 2003 by all the way from 1931 to 2003 by biothic Biothalic Dr. J. Katz found, oh, what a name, J. Katz, found that the accusations were well founded and documented. So he wasn't worried about being caught. He's not in trouble like other men. So they do stuff, they get caught, a pat in the back or a pat in the hand, in other words. Psalms 73, verse 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. And the writings are all over, man. No matter what you do, you see it out in the open. The only reason why you're not saying anything is because either you're too busy getting fucked up, excuse my language, or you're drunk in the juice, Babylon juice, or you sold out. I mean, pretty much, that's what it is. Ain't nothing else to it.
1830s. Tell us what he did there and how he ascended from there.
That's right. So Cornelius Rhodes was working for the Rockefeller Institute, and he went to San Juan in the 1930s to research anemia. A lot of Puerto Ricans were suffering from anemia as a result of hookworm. And he took his, he'd been trained in Harvard.
Meanwhile, hookworm was something they could have prevented because they allow that to happen also. How do you get hookworm? We know why the United States were full of hookworm. They dirty. So, I mean, if you prevent someone from clean water, if you prevent somebody from using, the proper hygiene, yeah, they're going to get, look, once widespread in the United States, hookworm infections now disproportionately impact more areas with limited access to sanitation and medical care. The worm larvae lives in contaminated soil. And how did they have you working in the soil? Knee deep. Primarily infected people by borrowing the bottoms of their bare feet. Keep you working, with no shoes. Though a safe and effective treatment is available, there are an estimate 570. Well, that's pretty much what I wanted to get. How it's transmitted. Okay, so people currently infected with the hookworm worldwide, making it one of the most common neglected tropical diseases impacting humans. So pretty much, people like to walk barefooted. You can get it. If you're not drinking, clean water, you can get it. But if you're under a condition, especially slavery, hell yeah, you're gonna get it.
Harvard. But suddenly, when he got to San Juan, he became a different kind of doctor. He took his location, being in Puerto Rico, as sort of licensed to do whatever he wanted, however he wanted it. So this is what we have accounts of. First of all, he refused to treat some of his patients just to see what would happen. He tried to induce disease in others, again, to see what would happen by restricting their diets. He referred to his patients, to his colleagues, as experimental animals. And then he wrote a letter. He sat down.
Look, we already read the letter. This is part of your letter. And this is the accuser of your people. Meanwhile, he's the one that's doing all the causing. That's all I have. Shalom.